New Zealand's biggest gap year is an epic challenge that Laura and I decided to tackle 2 years ago. We needed to do 365 activities all around New Zealand in 365 days, and today we are on Stewart Island and we get a little bit off Stewart Island to go to Ulva Island, which is a bird sanctuary. Check it out and join with me at the end of the video when I'm gonna go over all the comments you had the first time we published it. It's a full packed day today on Stewart Island, so we are having our quick breakfast on the Ulva Island ferry.
The trick is to go slow. The slower you go, the more comfortable the birds will be, and the more birds you'll see. Some people tend to walk right past them, so go slow, keep your eyes and ears open.
We're good at going slow.
And stop. The robin in particular will come down straight to your feet because you are a food source.
Yeah.
Today is our last day on Stewart Island. We are taking the ferry in the afternoon to get back to the mainland, but our activity of the day is gonna be to visit the stunning bird sanctuary of Ulva Island. The island is home to thousands of birds, and as soon as we start walking we see some ruffle in the bushes.
At first we are super excited that we might have seen a kiwi bird, but no, this is another flightless bird native to New Zealand called a Weka, and they are making quite a ruckus in the foliage on the bottom of the forest floor. We even spot a little baby Weka as well, and one by one we see the mother Weka and the daddy Weka, and we have this full family right at our feet searching for bugs and plants in the forest floor. It's amazing to see.
The Weka that we are seeing right now are a subspecies of Weka. They are the Stewart Island Weka, and they are very well known to be quite used to human presence, and they are coming really up close to us, even with their baby. Usually when we see any animals in the wild that have babies, they are very cautious of humans as they are trying to protect their offsprings. Many populations of Weka have been extinct on the mainland of New Zealand, but they are thriving right here on Ulva Island, which is a pest-free island, meaning that every single human-introduced pest are actually been eradicated, so they are left alone to scavenge for food, danger-free. We are finally deciding to leave this Weka family having breakfast by themselves, and we are moving on along the track, which leads us to a beautiful secluded beach. This beach is called Sydney Cove, and I find a lovely swing where I'm going to be playing while Laura is trying to find us some more birds to look at.
Yes, even on the beach there are some birds to look at. So right here I've found a couple of oyster catchers, and the really cool thing about oyster catchers is that you always see them in pairs. They're so romantic. We have seen oyster catchers on a few beaches in New Zealand before, but they are a lot more abundant here. So we spend some time taking some footage of them, and then we try and find the rest of the track to go back into the forest. In the forest we hear 1,000 different bird calls, and right above us we see a bird that we've never seen before in the wild. It's bright yellow and about the size of a sparrow, and it's called a yellowhead. The really awesome thing about the forest here on Ulva Island is that it's never been milled, so it's in its original state. And along with that, the birds can absolutely thrive here. We even see some more ruffling on the forest floor, where we think we've spotted another family of Weka.
This family consists of one parent scavenging for food and two very fluffy babies relaxing and waiting to be fed. Those are the teenagers that's gonna be staying with their parents until at least being 30 years old. I'm telling you that right now. It's really cute to look at though, because they are kind of petting each other while the mother is staying nearby, keeping a watchful eye on its baby. It's so awesome. The tracks then takes us even deeper into the Ulva Island forest, and there are quite a few tracks right here on Ulva Island. There's actually 3 of them, and they are all color coded, so it's almost impossible to get lost. While we're walking, we can't help but being amazed by the amount of bird noise that we can hear, and it's really hard to make up anything that we can hear. But if you hear a bit of a laughing noise, that means that you have found a parakeet. A parakeet is also called kakariki in Maori, and that means a small parrot, and the one that we find is the red-crowned parakeet. It is one of the very rarest birds in New Zealand, and we've never seen one in the wild, so seeing one right here before our eyes is absolutely awesome. So we take a few minutes to see it behave in the trees.
As we continue along the track, we realise that we haven't yet spotted a Stewart Island robin, which are notorious for being super inquisitive with tourists. So Robin is gonna, as in our Robin, is gonna do a little trick that we've learned on other tours around New Zealand to attract robins, and sure enough, we see one right behind us. The trick is to stop walking, upturn the soil with your feet, and reveal the bugs for the robin to feed on. This bird is yet another subspecies here on Stewart Island, known as the Stewart Island robin, and they're known for singing for up to 30 minutes to attract a mate. But this robin gives us its very own song as we leave, thanking us for the meal we've just given it.
Leaving behind this incredibly cute bird, we are moving on to the last section of the track. This is going to be taking us back to the beach, where we're gonna be hopping back onto the ferry all the way to the mainland of New Zealand. But we can't help but watch more birds. There is a kaka and a chewie having a major feast on a massive pohujikawa tree right here on the beach. This tree is covered of bird feeding on its nectar-filled flowers. It's seriously hard to leave Ulva Island. There is always something else to look at. Every single time you turn your head, you see another bird, you hear another bird call. Even the seagulls are trying to be interesting by carrying heaps of sticks. It's crazy how every single animal here is trying to catch our attention. But it's time for us to leave, and the ferry is arriving to come and pick us up. The trip back to the mainland of Stewart Island is pretty short, it's only 5 minutes, it's a very quick ride, and the tickets for the ferries are super quirky. But don't fret guys, there is a way to stay longer on Stewart Island. You can actually catch the ferry in the evening, but because we do have to make our way all the way to New Zealand mainland today, we had to leave quite early. And it's with heavy heart that we are boarding the Real Journeys ferry back to the South Island. Alright, so we're right in front of the ferry. We are leaving Stewart Island today. I don't want to. They're gonna have to force me onto that ferry. So those two girls over there saw a beautiful kiwi bird in the same walk we did today. Can you show it? Can you show it again?
They're gonna claim this is your video.
Look how close he got.
I am so jealous. Anyway, once we make it back to the South Island, we are driving to the little township of Gore, which is on the east coast of the South Island. That is awful. It looks so bad with the fish eye. I love it.
Alright guys, so although we didn't get to see the kiwi bird, that we were just gutted, we still got to see a lot of epic wildlife. It is such an amazing place, and I cannot recommend enough to people to check it out. In fact, this still tops Laura's favorite things to do in New Zealand pretty much all the time. And if you check on NZPocketGuide.com, which is actually the largest travel guide to New Zealand, we mention Ulva Island super often. Alright, so some of the comments that you guys had before, we had Chad and Steph that said there was a ton of wildlife, looked like a fun day. Explore New Zealand that says, nice video, I've only been there once, I must return soon. Joshi that says, nice place, nice video. We also have Bassi that says, I've seen many Weka in Northland and on the mainland. Yes, we will also check out a lot of Wekas when we're going to visit Russell, but that's only many months away. But I know that because obviously we revisit New Zealand's biggest gap year right now, so we've already published some of those videos. But yeah, around Russell area we see a lot of Wekas as well. And Why in the World is actually finding that absolutely amazing that the other tourists had a kiwi walk right up on the path for them. Yeah, that was just so cool for them. It's okay, next time's the charm, as they say. Alright, in the meantime, if you guys want to hang out with us, you can do that every single Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time. We do a live session right here on this little set, and we chat with you guys about traveling in New Zealand. So, you know, join us then. In the meantime, you guys stay safe, you have a fun time traveling, and we see you when you come to New Zealand. Bye bye!